teach these kids first how to read text and then how to, summarize it. I mean, so I certainly am supportive of a lot of the changes we've been talking about in the class so far, but I kind of agree with you on that. I think they need some. I mean, sure, I think we want to turn them on to validating their experience and all that. But
And there are ways. Do I have to give another penny to respond?
Not if you're building on
I'm responding.
new
Yeah.
content.
I think there are ways to work that in, because when I figured out last term that the students that I was working with did not have reading comprehension skills that I thought they would, because I'm like, oh, here's how you find a scholarly peer-reviewed article, and you just read an abstract and glean a thesis and blah, blah, blah. And then they couldn't do it, and I realized, oh, I'm sorry, my mistake. So I started with myths, and then Megan had the idea of adding jokes. We went over jokes and myths, and then we did short stories. And all of this was, how do you get a moral or a subject or a plot line? And then I went to, just pulled up the Tampa Times, which was St. Pete Times at the time, and then scholarly peer-reviewed journals. So it was a good way to get in. We pulled up song lyrics at one point too. It was a good way to get in art, but in the guise of reading comprehension to work it in, instead of something that's overwhelming, like read this video and write an analysis of it.
Right.
They just did, whoa. It's not that they couldn't write. It wasn't even about the writing. It was the content that got them so confused. So it can be worked in, yay.
Yeah, and Cirque says that too, right? Like you can do a blog, or you can do writing a letter, there are different forms of actually writing text that maybe aren't the traditional, not always the traditional.
There's something else in building on this, and I think this is actually something you talked about this before, but it's also a really important need to meet students where they are with things. And one of the things that I'm really curious to see how it works out with the mixtape thing, but that worked really well with the picture assignment that I did, is that I put that up in Facebook. And it was a place where they were all very comfortable. And so because, the project was housed in a place, it was couched in something they're familiar with and they're comfortable with doing, I think a lot of the resistance or the hesitation that sometimes gets manifested as, I'm not going to do this, or this is dumb, or I don't want to do this, gets broken down. So I agree that sometimes we do dump too much on them. We get excited about a technology or a concept or something, but I think it's really important to try and figure out what exactly you have and how you can meet them there.
So